So thank you, Shiro, for introduction, and thank you for coming to see me today. So I'm Irina Webster, and I'm a medical doctor, but I'm not practicing conventional medicine right now. My specialization is intuitive healing and medical intuition. So today I'm going to talk about different subject, past life, so not about the topic of my specialization. But people often ask me what made me change my occupation, because I practiced as a conventional medical doctor for 14 years of my life, and then I changed my occupation and become intuitive healer and medical intuitive. And the reason why I changed my occupation was kind of a breakthrough, but it was my personal illness. My personal illness made me totally change my way, my life. So what happens, I can tell you really shortly what happened to me. I was working at the Canberra hospital because I come from Canberra. Originally I come from Russia, so this is where my accent come from. So if you don't understand something, you just raise your hand and ask me to repeat. I totally understand. So originally I come from Russia, but I practice medicine, conventional medicine here in Australia, in Canberra Hospital, and I passed medical exams to be able to practice conventional medicine. And I practiced for like 10 years in Russia. I was a pediatric specialist, and I worked as a GP in general practice area in the Canberra hospital after passing medical exams. So, but what happened to me, it's totally changed my life. When I was working at the Canberra hospital, I developed an illness, personal illness, which was actually uterine bleeding. Personal gynecological problem, uterine bleeding. So I was bleeding, and I had to go to hospital, to doctor to see, well, I was working at the hospital, but I had to see my colleague to check what's wrong with me. So when I went to have ultrasound, they found that I had fibroids. Fibroids, it's like tumors growing into my uterus, and they cause severe bleeding. So my gynecologist, who was really experienced doctor in his late 50s, told me, Irina, you will bleed to death if you don't have them removed. And he gave me a referral to have surgery. And when I was sitting with this doctor with him, I experienced something quite extraordinary. I heard inner voice. I call it inner voice, the voice that comes from inside of my body, not from the head. It is just the voice starts speaking to me from the inside of my body, and this voice said, "You will be fine. You just will be fine. You don't need to have surgery." So being an intuitive person, I've always been like intuitive, sensitive, very sensitive person. I decided to listen to this voice, and I took a referral from this doctor, and I said, "Thank you so much. I will consider surgery." Because, why I said this? Because when you hear your inner voice, when you feel the voice of your intuition, you don't want to prove anything to anybody. You don't want to be defensive. You don't want to say, "Oh no, you're wrong." So this is voices of ego. This is not the voices of intuition. Your intuition is your best friend and advisor. So your intuitive voice is actually very subtle, very gentle, but it gives you a lot of certainty in an uncertain situation. You see how bizarre it is? This voice, intuitive voice, gives you certainty in an uncertain situation. It's like I didn't know the outcome of my illness, but I felt that I will be fine. But in this time, when you feel it, you don't want to argue with anybody or prove something to somebody. And if somebody in this position, you see somebody in defensive position, trying to say, oh, he is wrong, no, I am right. They're not listening their intuition. I really like teaching people, love to teach people what it is to listen to your intuition. So I took this referral, I went home, and when I came home, I had only one wish or like desire, is to experience a vibrational state. Vibrational state. Anybody knows what it is? Vibrational state. So it's much deeper than normal meditation. It's vibrational state, it's when you feel the vibrations of your own tissue, your own cells. You feel electricity, like this energy runs through your body, and you feel this energy that runs through your body, especially in the organs that needs healing. So I put myself in this vibrational state. This is not the topic of this class today. We're supposed to be talking about past life, but I just want to give you the introduction, why I'm here speaking to you and why I changed my occupation. So I put myself into this vibrational state, and people ask me how long I was sitting in this state where you feel and sense the vibrations of your own tissue. My answer to this question is that I don't really know, because if you go into meditation and if you still look at your watch how long you've been meditating, you haven't achieved the state. So I assume I was in this state more than an hour, probably 1 hour and a half, maybe close to 2 hours. When you go into this state, you totally separate from this timeline, this timeline in which we create illnesses. You go into the timelessness. This is the state called timelessness, when you go into the energetic body, into the energy that runs through your body. So what happens? So I was sitting like that, maybe close to 2 hours, maybe 1 hour and a half. In the next morning, my bleeding, 70 or 80% stopped. But I still continued the same process, feeling the energy in my body, especially in my uterus. And after the third day, like 3 days, I was healing myself because I was on sick leave. Didn't have to go to hospital to work. And after 3 days, my bleeding totally stopped. And this happened probably now would be 13 years ago, and I never had problems. These problems come back to me. So I believe that I totally expelled these fibroids. A lot of things happens when you go into this state, by the way. When you go and start sensing the energy inside your organs, you can also activate your inner eye. So like when I totally went into the experience and tuned into my uterus, I actually saw my uterus from the inside out. And then I saw the light come in, just green light come in through the top of my head, went into my uterus and started cleaning my uterus like a laser treatment, and expelled all the tumors. So this is basically the state that made me heal myself. And well, after this experience, I became curious what kind of power or what it was, intelligence, helped me heal. So I did a lot of investigation, a lot of studies. I went to America. I studied many courses of medical intuition courses. And when I come back, I felt that for me to go back to hospital and give people prescriptions, prescribe them something I wouldn't take myself. It was like against my own, the self, like, you know, the self we have, our personal integrity, personal self. So I started my own practice, medical intuitive practice. I created many courses, medical intuition and intuitive healing courses, and it's what I've been doing for all these years. I run medical intuition and intuitive healing practitioner courses, which are fully approved and accredited by the International Institute of Complementary Therapists. So I teach practitioners. So when people finish my courses, they become intuitive healing practitioners, but you can do it for yourself. So this is basically my story, what made me change. I also an author of I have written 5 books, some of them actually best-selling books. The books which are really relevant to energy, I brought it today, The Secret Energy of Your Body, called the book. So today I'm not talking about medical intuition because Cheryl asked me to talk about past life. So, and our past lives, they are also connected to our health. So this is why I was interested in past lives. So why we should understand our past life. So understanding past life help us discover who we are by exploring who we were. Okay? And each life, so who already aware that yes, I had some past lives. Yeah, most of you. So let me ask you the question. So what are the signs that you had past lives? How do you know that you had past lives? Anybody can tell me? How do you know?
What? Memories.
Huh?
Memories.
Yes, memories. So yes, look, I have collected some of the everyday experiences, not discovered through past life regression, which is a form of therapy, but through everyday experiences. You have vivid recurrent dreams about something.
And I keep changing buses and I seem to be getting further away.
This is dream about your directions.
Yes.
Directions and achieving your highest potential. You like all our life, our soul wants us to achieve the highest potential. It means become the best we can be, the best version of yourself.
Yes.
We should become not like somebody else. Our soul wants us to grow and become the best version of Irina or like you. Like everybody is different, so the best version of you. And these recurrent dreams telling you that the vehicle you're choosing is not quite correct. Maybe you put too much focus and losing your energy into physical life. Could be relationship, maybe draining, or job experiences, what I would say on you could be too much you spending your precious energy to cope with relationships or job experiences. So, and it's telling you the vehicle you're choosing is wrong.
Yes, yes, thank you.
And this is related to past life. So, these recurrent dreams, recurrent vivid dreams, which continuously reoccur, it comes from past life. It's connected to some certain character you used to be in the past life. Yes, after the afternoon tea, I will do past life regression, which I normally do one-on-one, but it's also possible to do the public one. It will be the same kind of format, but exactly the same how I do it when people come to me one by one, but I will do like a public one. So hopefully, maybe you will discover something, because this experience is really connected to some sort of character who you used to be in past life. Well, it's obviously your soul needed this cleansing. And like a lot of past life experiences is also connected to the problems you're having in this life. Like you, like I see like you have like problems with that.
Some challenges.
Yeah, I can straight away see that it is something you're going through in this life, what you experience in your past life.
Yes, it could be. I knew it was going to happen.
Related to some certain character, some sort of accidents or characters, could be a warrior, he was wounded in the battlefield or something like that. A knight maybe was injured in the battlefield. So you just need to, like when we go through regression, maybe you will discover, but sometimes it's not easy. Is it easy to discover?
Yeah.
But this is why I go through all these things for you. You maybe already know, you maybe already experienced something in your normal wakeful life. So déjà vu, you know what déjà vu is? Déjà vu?
Yes.
It's when you meet a person, for example, or you come to a certain place and you never met this person before, but it feels like you know him or her for a long, long time. The same with places. Anybody had these experiences? And especially when you meet people, like you remember when the first time you met your partner, your husband or wife, sometimes people say it was like we knew each other before. Maybe you have this connection with your friend when you just first met this friend. And you just first met, just first minute of connecting, but you already feel that you knew this person before. So this is all déjà vu. And some places, like I love going to Europe because it's like I really believe many of my past lives were in Europe. And when I come to some places, some like old ruined castles, for example, or like some old manor houses, I feel this connection like as if I was here before. So in the places you can experience these experiences. Certain culture or time periods attract you. Have you had this feeling that certain times or cultures really attract you? Maybe some people have attraction to Roman time. Lots of people have attraction to American Indian civilization, but they live in Australia, they're born in Australia, or maybe born in Europe, or like living in Australia, but they really have this connection to American Indians. Or maybe some Japanese culture, maybe some German, Italian culture. Anybody has this experience that you're drawn, so unexplained phobias or fears. Anybody has unexplained phobias? Maybe snakes. Even snakes, spiders, height, being in the fear of flight, fear of public speaking. It's like a fear of humiliation. When you, like somebody afraid of speak in public, or any social phobias. Anybody have experience with social phobias? It's all related to fear of humiliation, and it's related to past life. So in your past life, you was a character who maybe were humiliated, maybe even punished, maybe put into prison, or something happened to you in the past life. And in this life, to complete the circle, you need to go through these fears again, but you need to overcome it. Okay, so all these unexplained fears and phobias. And another one which related to medical stuff, you experience mystery pains. A lot of illnesses, mystery illnesses, which like doctors have no much explanation of where they're coming from, including like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome. How many people having that? There is no explanation where they come from, but it's most likely like when people come to me to do past life regression and they have chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia, they see that something happened to them in the past. So in this life, they need to live through this pain again, through this challenge, but they must complete the circle. So anything happened to you in life, it's no point to say, well, I am unwell, look at my past life. But the experience you have in this life is to complete the unfinished business. Okay. And then, so another criteria or like example that you might have, so that you had experiences with past life, you feel like you don't belong in this time or place.
Hallelujah.
Yeah? So if you have extreme feelings that I don't belong somewhere, when people don't feel belong to their family. They feel like abandoned children, although they have mother and father, sisters and brothers. Or I don't belong to my tribe. Tribe is group of people you associating with. Like maybe you have tribe at work, you have tribe, group of friends. And I feel I don't belong. So it's probably past life experiences. And you need to go through the challenge to complete the karma, to clear the karma. Yes, Cheryl.
I've just had a thought that like most people in this room would feel like they don't belong here because we're alternative.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
But what if alternative people are part of a generation that have a generational karma? to work
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes, we belong to certain generation or we belong to certain big, huge group or certain movement, and all the spiritual movements, they've been here like through eternity. So now let's go back to the slides. So and then, so soul. So what we are getting. Remember, I told you about this energy. So soul is energy. Soul is eternal part of you. So this energy that runs through our body, the energy I told you I teach people to sense. It enters your body through the top of your head. And soul is energy. So it enters at the time we are born, maybe in the time of conception. It's like really, there is no certain proof. But definitely at the time you are born, this energy enters your body and it leaves the body at the time we die. So when we die, it's only our flesh, our bones, organs, muscles die, but our energy or our soul goes back to the universe and somebody else will pick it up to develop. So it goes back to the collective consciousness. So it is where we get the soul or our contracts. We will go through the contracts, sacred or divine contracts we have. It's all come from the collective consciousness. You know what collective consciousness is. So this is what begins. It's where all this energy and soul connection begins. So soul is the most eternal part of you, and it is an aspect of divinity. The soul enters your body during gestation or when you are born and leaves when you die. The soul is divine, intelligent entity. It learns, grows, evolves, both in the spirit world and in the physical world. So you got this energy that enters through your body or soul. You need to, your goal, your purpose in life is to develop your soul, develop this energy. And when this energy, connecting to medical intuition, how like when I work with people and teach people what to do, when this energy or your soul runs through your body nicely, you are in a state of health. And when this energy or like soul is energy, have some energetic disturbances anywhere in the body, illnesses are created. So like it's when I healed myself, I tuned into the organ where I had an energetic disturbance connected to the energy inside my uterus. It's where I had the problem, and managed to correct the energetic flow. So this is what this energy medicine is all about, really connecting to your own organs. And it's actually only you can do it. I can, like as a healer, I guide people to do that. But only you really can connect to your stomach, your brain, your throat, and just really, really clean it and release the blockages. So our task in this life is to develop, grow, and expand our soul, bring it to realize its highest potential. Many lessons we need to be learned to grow your soul, and life difficulties, problems, complicated relationships, illnesses, pains. This is all physical experiences, physical problems you have. They are for the reason for you to develop your soul. How else would you develop your soul if you didn't have challenges? How else? We would sit on our butt, totally happy, content, nothing to do. Why should I move my butt if everything is okay?
Yeah, but can we get a bit of a break now?
Yes. Yes. So the one aspect to understand that your life experiences, including illnesses, is the way it's how we develop our soul and how we understand energy. So, like for example, myself, if I didn't have this experience, I was sent to have surgery. And if I didn't have this experience, I wouldn't know properly how to connect to my energy. And it changed my life. And I had so many people told me that this illness totally changed my life. It made me become so much aware of where I am losing my energy to whom I am losing my energy to. But if it's not for this illness, I would be just walking around like without no awareness. So many people, majority of people still have very low or limited, maybe no awareness about energetic losses. But we're creating illnesses by the, according to the way you distribute your energy, to which issues in your life you sending or spend your energy to. We're supposed to keep our energy in the present moment. And this energy should nourish your body cells. But we choose to send this energy to different sources. Yes, so our task is to develop our soul. Okay, let's go back to the karma. So many lessons are repeated and become our patterns. Who already realized that my life has certain patterns? Well, some relationship, for example, you get attracted to the same kind of people. So many people say, come to me and say, Irina, tell me, why do I always attract all these losers into my life? It's like a pattern. Or take for example, women who are in abusive relationship, like police had to put restriction order on her partner, separate them, so they get separated from one partner through police. In a few months, she finds another one, double abuser.
Yeah.
So she goes in a pattern. That's right. So it is all all these lessons are connected to karma. So what are your repeated lessons about your relationship, money, health, parenting, love? So parenting, like we normally, people, if you not become aware, you repeat the same parenting style the way you were brought up by your parents. So what is karma? So karma is unresolved energy, emotional patterns that has been carried from the past, including other lives and dimension. So karma, you should not be afraid of the karma, because karma is these emotional patterns we get from our parents, maybe ancestors, and these emotional patterns create problems, including illnesses. Like in medical intuition, how you diagnose, make an intuitive diagnosis, you see the person's energy distribution. People distribute energy according to the pattern, emotional pattern, and behind every illness, pain or ache, there is a certain emotional pattern. Every organ, the problems in every organ is connected to certain emotional patterns. So like in my book, I have researched the emotional patterns connected to all organs and how to heal them. And where the emotional patterns come from. So if somebody has liver problem, liver collects a lot of unexpressed anger and frustration. So if you go through life experiencing a lot of unexpressed anger, so your liver will absorb it. And somebody who has gallbladder stones, for example, it's anger becomes solidified. Anger solidified. So where this emotional pattern come from? And most likely these people not even aware that they're doing it. So where this pattern come from? This past life things. Or urinary tract infection, for example, somebody has continuous bladder infection. Bladder is all about vulnerability in your relationships, how vulnerable you are. So bladder infection is all about being pissed off with the partner. And most likely, the person is not even aware. Well, I'm using this common language to make you understand. But generally, like if you sign more scientific terms, it's how vulnerable you are to your partner, to your relationships, including relationship with yourself. So where does it pattern come from? Somebody who continuously have bladder infection. But it is all past life. Past life. So every organ, absolutely every organ, like breast issues, breast cancer, people have problems with nurturing others more than they nurture themselves. Nurturing. So breast is all about nurturing. They normally people who develop breast cancer, they looks like from the outside she's such a wonderful, loving woman, and she's like that. Like she would call everybody darling, and she would, you are darling, everybody is darling, but she's crying inside for self-love. Nearly all breast cancer people or breast issue people is like that. Everybody is dying, but myself crying inside for self-love. And in fact, they don't even know what self-love is. Women with breast cancer, they don't even know what really self-love, self-nurturing is. But they would look after everybody, and everybody, like family members, like partners, friends, you're dying, you're dying. So, but where this pattern come from? This is all past life. And most likely, she would not even aware that this pattern running through her life until, well, she becomes aware. So karma is considered to be the law of cause and effect. Cause and effect, it means there was some sort of cause in the past. So what is karma is all emotional patterns. There was some sort of cause in the past life. And this emotional pattern brought on to you, so cause and effect. So when we talk about karma, nothing to be scared about. Karma, emotional patterns. You need to identify these specific emotional patterns, and there is some emotions connected to every illness, physical or psychological or emotional. Some certain fear, really specific fears connected to the illness, and the origin of this fear, past life. So healing karma, so part of your soul's energy always ties in the spirit world and is connected to divinity. So you see? So a part, some part. This part remains pure and whole even if an aspect of the soul that has come to earth becomes affected by density, negativity, heavy karma, or difficult experiences. People often refer to this part of you as a higher self. So to heal the karma, we really need to identify this part which is affected by density, negativity. It's what I'm saying, emotional pattern, like in breast cancer. This heavy part, density part would be that she doesn't know how to love herself. But she gives this nurturing to everybody, but she is crying inside. It's what I see in all breast cancers. They are crying inside, but giving love to everybody. People with like bladder infections, I told you also, they're being pissed off with their partner. And they do it on totally unconscious level. So this heavy part, density part, it would be this fear. But another part of the soul remains pure and untouched, and it's called higher self. So healing karma, the sure way to heal yourself, your karma, find your past in life is to keep your attention on reaching your highest potential. And highest potential is not just your job. It's what many people think. Highest potential, it is something to create a big business or have a career. But it's not this. So fulfilling your highest potential actually means acting on your highest and deepest truth each moment of your life. This is what highest potential is.
Oh, I did want to interrupt. I just have a question,
Yes.
which I think some people might be wondering too, is you're a medical doctor, so
Yeah.
how does the genes fit into this? Is it possible that genetic illness, if there is
Yes.
such a thing, because I'm not really fully convinced
Yes.
of that, is also an inherited emotional illness?
Yes, I explain how genes work. Genes, like we inherit genes, but gene has the function to replicate themselves. So genes, it's like produce new one. And when you put genes, the same genes, into different environment, the genes start replicating themselves differently. So the environment in the body, who is creating environment in your body? An environment in your body, in your own temple, depends on your emotions and thoughts. And more thoughts is yes, but it's also more more important emotions. You just remember yourself when you were really, really scared. And if somebody take your blood at the time you were scared, and then at the time you feel loving thoughts, you feel love. It would be different blood biochemistry.
Is that not fact?
It is a
Something
fact.
tested.
Yeah.
It is a scientific fact. It is nothing spiritual.
Yeah.
It's not airy-fairy.
No.
If you test chemicals, it's called neuropeptides. Neuropeptides are chemicals which produced by emotions. So you create different environment, and if the same genes are genes which predispose you to have maybe cancer, like some people say cancer run in my family. But if you inherit genes of breast cancer, but you become aware of these emotional patterns and become really loving to yourself, become true to yourself. It's what we need to learn, is to become true to yourself. Many clients, when they come to me, they ask me, Irina, I've always been trying to be right. All my life I've been trying to be right. Why do I have so many problems? And I only ask, but you try to be right according to whom? What you mean? People at work, my family. I always try to be right to my family, people at work. And I ask, what about you? And they're jaw drop. I never heard of. I never even thought of this. But medical intuition is really showing you how you true to yourself. Are you being true to yourself, or are you trying to please everybody?
So you're saying that epigenetics is closely related to past lives?
Yes, genes we get genes from way back. From the time when we were like monkey, we still get these genes. From when we were tribal and had hair all over the place and lived in caves. We carry all these genes.
So it's like generations.
That's right. If you start creating new environment from your body and start telling yourself, I'm totally not connected in this way. So if everybody in your family says, oh, cancer run in my family, but you can tell, you don't have to argue with them. You have to listen to your intuition, and your intuition is very subtle voice. You can look, okay, if you believe that, that's fine. But you can tell to yourself, but I'm totally not connected to this part. Like I was sitting with this doctor, I was 37 at the time, and he was probably like 59 in his late 50s. He told me, you will bleed to death unless you have them removed. But I acknowledge, okay, thank you so much for the referral, I will consider surgery, but my intuition, my higher self, was really telling me that I'll be okay, but I didn't know the outcome of the illness. I didn't know, I couldn't. But I chose to listen to my higher self. But in this way, when you start listening to your inner self, it is only between you and higher self, between you and God. It is like a sacred contract, sacred divine contract. There is nobody to blame. Nobody to blame and nobody to prove something.
That's right.
You are creating something in your body every single moment. Every single choice contribute to negative placebo or positive placebo. I couldn't be at the same time working as a conventional GP or somebody at the hospital and practicing totally at the level I'm practicing right now. So what I see they doing, they accepted naturopathy but this is just another form, naturopathy. Instead of drugs, I give you like natural treatment. But it is still external. It doesn't touch the soul. It doesn't touch the energy. Now, so let's go. So forward. So and talk about soul agreements or soul contracts. So soul agreements are made by your soul before you incarnate. They can direct you towards your soulmate, the situation you need to heal, and your life purpose. Soul agreements can also help you release and balance your karmic patterns from previous lives, as well as your current life, and evolve. Magic experiences in your life, ones that make you stop and change your path, could be predestined. So magic experiences like your marriage partners, your job, like changing occupation, emigration from country to country, could be predestined because of your soul contracts. This can include accidents, diseases, big losses, surprising job offers, or trips to significant places that change your life direction. You may also have an agreement to meet your soulmates, life partners, teachers, and enlightened masters. It's like lots of things are predestined here, but how you react to these circumstances is your choice. When you come to the cross point in your life, like maybe Hitler came to the cross point in your life, and if you like go back to the history and see how he became a leader, he used the situation which happened at the time. It was Great Depression, and there was a lot of other much more intellectual people in the parliament, but they were a total loss. They were so intellectual, but they were a total loss how to run the country. So he used the chaotic situation and used his reptile brain to take over. We all have this higher potential brain, and we all have reptile brain. So all these leaders like Stalin from Russia, it was the same kind of situation. He used the opportunity. He was the less educated person in the whole Russian parliament at the time, but he used the chaotic situation in Russia, and all these leaders, they fall on their butt and couldn't get up, didn't know what to do with all these peasants rebelling. Similar situation happened in Germany at the time of Great Depression in 1938 or 37 when he came to power. Time of Great Depression, 33. But it was a time of really depression. It was really in Germany. It was hard time. I watched documentary. Businesses like was closing down, and there was so many poor people on the street, and crime level was rising. So all these intellectual people, they didn't know what to do. So Hitler used his choice to act on this chaotic situation. So choice is always ours. So like I said, like some of our situation, illnesses could be predestined. Like when I looked at my sacred contract, in my courses we go into really deep exploration of sacred contracts. Everything was like my life according to the sacred contract, my immigration, my 2 marriages. Everything was kind of according to my sacred contract. But every time I came to the cross point, the choice was always mine. Should I marry this person? Should I go to this country? Should I take this opportunity? Should I quit my job or continue working? The choice is up to me. So when people come to this, what to choose? And do I choose these dark forces, or do I go to the
Put you on that path.
light?
Whatever you choose, yeah.
It is still your choice. And like when you are in spiritual community, in these healing communities, still there are lots of people who are practicing what I would call black magic they're not practicing from the light side. They, according to their past life, they had experiences in their past. Maybe they were some sort of intuitive people, maybe a witch or some sort of intuitive person. But it is their choice how they use their intuition and on which side they're on. And when people use like a Hitler, so for example, when people, they also were at the level of their reptile brain. They go in the survival level. There are two levels we can live our life. From the level of survival or from the level of highest potential. Still, a majority of people, they still deviate to this survival level. And what's happening in the media, everybody trying to suppress us. Scare tactics. Fear tactics is really pushed forward. What Donald Trump is doing, he is really pushing this survival mode. All this war, conflict in Middle East, in African countries. It's all about to keep us in fear, to keep us in survival mode. So generally, I would say, majority of like governments, they try to suppress us. They try to suppress our highest potential and keep us in the survival mode. Because if you are in survival mode, it's much easier to manipulate you and make you to buy tablets, buy this or whatever vitamins or whatever it is which don't work, buy these treatments, buy this, buy that, to make money.
Thank you. That's really, it's given me clarity that I haven't had for quite some time. Well,
Yes.
never had that clarity, so thank you.
Yeah, these people, we all have past life, we all have soul agreements, soul contracts, but choice is always ours. So choice and destiny. So each person has a collection of sacred contracts you have made before you were born. Each of these contracts determines the way our life plays out, who we meet, our opportunities and challenges. It doesn't determine the outcome. This is where choice comes in. It does predetermine that there are people you will meet, opportunities that will come to you. Like Hitler had opportunities come to him. But how you respond when you meet these people or engaged in the opportunity is fully and totally in your hands. And this is where self-esteem and choice came in. Yes. Okay, so here conditional love and unconditional love. So basically our soul must grow. And one way to look at it is that our soul learning the lessons of love. We continuously go through life, and maybe you already noticed that all your experiences, many of your experiences connected to the issues of love. And all your people you have attracted, so they are, you had agreement with them, all of your partners, parents, everybody you connected to, they are part of your contract, and you had relationship with them in the past. When we go into regression, many of the people from this life you will recognize in your past lives. So you need relationship, we need relationship for the reason to learn about yourself. So the reason we need relationship. So relationship, it is one way to look your sacred contracts in your past life. Who is in your environment, what kind of characters you keep attracting to yourself. So this is another way to understand your past life. So relationship tell you a lot about the person. So, but when we come to life, basically nobody knows how to really love unconditionally. Through our life, we learn the lessons of love. So hopefully, sometime in our life, we learn how to love unconditionally. So let's look at what conditional love is, because most of your contracts and past life is connected to issues of love. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt it was the other person's job to make you happy, to meet all your needs, to understand you and know what you want without asking? Or have you been on the other side of this scenario? You as a partner expected to fulfill the other person and manage their happiness. Sounds familiar?
Yes.
So we all start learning about love from this conditional love perspective, conditional love view. So either situation is perpetually frustrating. One partner never feels happy and content in the relationship because they are looking to the other person to perform the impossible. And the other partner feels unappreciated and overwhelmed by the inexhaustible emotional demands and needs of others. Conditional love, it's what we all practice in the beginning of our life, often results in codependent relationship, or people call it victim-vampire relationships. Have you heard about victim vampires? Vampires are people who need other people's energy to survive. They cannot produce their own energy. They don't have internal energy, so they have to just suck vampires. Yes, they have to suck energy vampires. So conditional love, what I told you in the other slide, often result in codependent, which is a scientific term for victim-vampire situation. So basically, if you decide that my life is still kind of conditional, love with strings attached. I love you, but all these relationships, conditional love relationship, still have some sort of codependency issues. It's not possible to practice conditional love and not be at least a little bit of vampire, like somebody victim, somebody vampire, and you lose energy. So, and most of us go through life experiences. You meet partners. So you meet partners in your life who probably cause you lots of problems. But these partners who caused you lots of problems, they were your teachers. They all come from the past life. They all come to teach you how to learn unconditionally. So what is unconditional love? Lasting relationships require unconditional love. Unconditional love in a relationship begins with oneself. To set the foundation for a lasting, healthy relationship, you must first have a strong sense of self, self-esteem and self-confidence. This doesn't mean you never have emotional difficulties or don't need support and extra attention at times, but you do need to feel generally good about yourself, to like yourself, and to recognize the positive qualities you bring to relationships. And personal boundaries must be established and practiced. So all these people who caused you problems, they come to your life to teach you about you. And from spiritual perspectives, like from why do we need relationship? Why can't we just live by ourselves? Why do we love relationship, need relationship, want relationships? But we need relationship to understand yourself. Relationship is meant to press your buttons. And when they press your buttons, you start to understand your weaknesses and your strengths. So the challenges of unconditional love, lack of communication and a willingness to listen, understand and see other people's point of view. Often there is sense of self-righteousness. It's like, but I'm right. I am right. No, the situation when somebody try to who right, who wrong. This is totally conditional love relationship. Where one or both partners feel that they are correct or justified in treating the other poorly. And now, I really want you to understand this concept about soulmates and twin flames. So, soulmates, these people who come to your life to teach you something, who were horrible to you, who caused you lots of problems, who you called maybe dickhead or whatever you call them. They are actually your soulmate. You attracted them. They come from your past life. And they are to look at, to really understand who you were in your past life. So they are your soulmate. So look at what soulmate is. Soulmates are other souls that have agreed to connect with you on this planet for a purpose. In some cases, it is to clear up karma. In other cases, it is unfinished business. And for some, it is to accomplish a particular goal together. Soulmate seems to be souls you have encountered in past lives. So in essence, you can have many soulmates. Soulmate is not only one. And they are not limited to the realm of romance. Soulmates, it can be your marriage partner, it can be a friend, a person you work with, it could be even your relative, but they cause hell of lots of problems to you. Soulmate is the person, not necessarily with whom you have nice, cute relationship, but the person who gave you a lesson or somehow encourage development of your soul through the pain. So if somebody, for example, a woman who met a person who had a boyfriend and she had a child with him and then boyfriend ran away, caused her lots of problems, lots of headache and ran away, leaving her with a child. They had a soul contract. So he came to complete a particular goal together. He made her pregnant, give a child, become like a free sperm donor, and ran away. So there is nothing really to be upset about for her. This is only to understand that this was a soul contract. He meant to come into her life only this way, give her a child, plus he probably clear up karma, probably also press her buttons to understand why I attracted him in the first place. Maybe she attracted him because of her low sense of self-esteem. It is not just I am attracting him, he is attracting me. So when we come together, we both giving each other lessons. So, and if you don't understand the first lesson, and you're still angry, he is a bastard, dickhead, look at him, what he did to me, and blah, blah, blah. You will attract the second partner in the double problems. And this is why some people stuck in a relationship pattern keep attracting the same kind of losers or abusers because they didn't learn the lesson why I attracted the first partner in the first place. So for these people to stop the karma of attracting losers or abusers in your life is to really understand why I attracted this person in the first place. You need to ask yourself, what energy in me attracted this person in the first place? And only after learning this lesson, really understanding why I attracted, maybe I needed this person because I couldn't take responsibility for myself, but this person sounds so good, he had a good job, good income, but I am such a disempowered princess, I don't want to take responsibility for myself, so I need a knight, and she will keep attracting these knights, who will take care of her, but put her in a castle. Lock the door and hide the key. And this princess will sit in the castle feeling disempowered and keep complaining that he is controlling me. But the reason why she keep attracting these partners, because she needs to learn to do for herself what she wants the knight does for her. So this would be totally karmic connection, princess and a knight connection. And there are a lot of connection, mother and a child. Do you know a woman, women who keep attracting children? Okay, so this is all soulmates. So soulmates, we can have lots of them. Twin flames are very different from a soulmate and very rare. Twin flames are two people in two separate bodies that supposed to share the same soul. Twin flames meet each other in their first incarnation so that they remember the soul frequency of the other being. There is some debate about whether or not twin souls are together in any other life than the first and last, but it is literally you're missing half from the beginning of time. The reunification of twins is also very holy event. So what people really want to attract in their life is twin flame, but these twin flames, they are two separate bodies but the same soul. And I believe you have to be really evolved, really evolved to really attract your twin flame, because it is the same soul. It is so vulnerable state to be in. You cannot lie or you cannot put mask on yourself. So now look at your life and ask, how much do I lie? Or pretend or put a mask on. So to rise to this level, most of us need to go through lots and lots of soulmates, learn the lesson. So hopefully one day we attract twin flames. But for many people it doesn't happen in this incarnation. This incarnation for many people is just learning curve. You keep evolving your soul, so maybe in the next incarnation you will be evolved enough to meet with your twin flame, because it is such a vulnerable state. But this is really holy event, and it's really harmonious relationships. Relationship with twins, it should be really balanced and harmonious on all 7 levels, if you know about chakras. And it's really literally really harmonious relationship. So if you have a partner but you still go through lots of hustle and problems, it is your still soulmate. They helping you to develop your soul, and you helping them to develop your soul. We can have many soulmates. We have only one twin flame. One twin flame. One. But twin flame, do you see definition of twin flame? It is the same soul. It is the same soul. So if you still think it is a lot, it means all these other souls other souls. Twin flame, it's really, but if you look at the, be precisely to definition of it, it is the same soul but is split into different bodies. So you only can have one.